from hauntedflower.com and hauntedflowerreviews.com, and today I've got a movie review for Thin Ice, a movie review for Hatfields and McCoys Bad Blood, and a season review for Workaholics Season 2 on DVD and the newly released Workaholics Seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray combo Doggy. This is what's known as a screener copy, so it doesn't look very interesting, but I watched Thin Ice last night and I was really impressed. I guess it was like a little bit of a Sundance Film Festival darling, and it stars Greg Kinnear as this insurance agent who kind of is a little bit sleazy. The first thing we find him doing is offering a conference at a hotel and immediately cheating on his wife with some woman he meets in the bar, and when he gets back you can tell that he is in serious debt. His wife is played by Leah Thompson and she has very little patience for him. His secretary at his office does most of his work and is often blamed for all of his shortcomings, and then soon enough he comes across this like startup insurance salesman and pulls him into the fold and hires him for his company. His character is played by David Harbour, and he introduces the Greg Kinnear character to Alan Arkin, who is this nice old man with a lot of old stuff. He's trying to sell some of his old stuff to pay some bills, and a neighbor's helping him out, and Greg Kinnear doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to the guy until he finds out the guy owns a really valuable violin that is appraised by the bad guy from the Alias series. Greg Kinnear tries to scheme to find a way to get this violin from the old man so he can get this like $25,000 and pay his debts, but then bad things happen because a security alarm system guy played by Billy Crudup is also a bit sleazy. The two of them work together to try and get the violin, and a murder happens, and they spend the whole rest of the movie trying to cover it up, and it gets ridiculous. Things go from bad to worse to worse to worse. It is kind of mind-numbing what lengths each of them will go to cover up what has happened, and it has a really good payoff in the end. I really like movies like this. It's just, I can't tell you why, but the movie has a really good payoff. It has like a little bit of a Fargo aspect to it, for me anyway. It reminds me of that type of movie, and I really think you should check it out. Next we have Hatfields and McCoys Bad Blood on DVD. This is an approximately 90-minute movie, which means it's not even quite full length. I'm pretty sure that they threw this movie out there because they're trying to capitalize on the popularity of the Hatfields and McCoys special out there that I keep seeing advertised whenever I go to the movie theater, which looks really cool and has like Bill Paxton in it and all this stuff. Well, this movie is mediocre at best. They put Christian Slater here right in the middle to try and let you know it has a big name actor, and they also put Jeff Fahey up here as like, yeah, we're power punching with like celebrities and stuff here because this guy was in Lost, and it's not a strong cast, it's not a strong script, and it is really ridiculous. A lot of the dialogue includes things like, I reckon, and I don't trust no government, and you are interfering with the official business of Kentucky, and oh, I guess we're in big trouble now. Try and set up scenarios with why the Hatfields and McCoys hate each other, and some of it might be based on the history, but some of it feels pretty set up as there is a romance of like a Romeo and Juliet nature between a young man from one family and a young woman from the other, and they both try to run away together to get away from all this bloodshed, and it's ridiculous. That's all it is. It's crazy. It's not worth watching. Don't waste your time. Oh, and there were features, director's commentary, a stills gallery, but you're not wasting your time, so what do you care? Next we got Workaholics Season 2 and the newly released Blu-ray that includes Seasons 1 and 2. I feel like this Comedy Central series is freaking hilarious. I mean, while I do not personally interact with people like this on a daily basis, I think they're so funny. They have cubicle jobs, and they're really just crazy and incompetent most of the time. Each of them has crazy inflated egos, they're roommates, and this season includes a lot of entertaining stuff. We've got 2 discs here in the DVD set, and it has 10 uncensored episodes, and they do things like have a really wild, crazy party weekend and then try to completely give up alcohol. because ridiculous things happen, like this guy getting his hair bleached blonde. They end up in this episode going into therapy with each other because they're arguing all the time, and they end up having to have a conversation through sock puppets, which is so funny. Other things that happen are like there's an episode where the boss is sick and gets taken out of the office, and that funny girl who they're friends with gets put in charge, and they all kind of come in and tell her what to do, and the whole episode takes place in like onesie pajamas that they're trying to sell. It's ridiculous. They fake one of the characters' deaths just to be amusing. Everything always goes crazy in these episodes. There's another episode where they're trying to put on a wedding at the house, and in the meantime, Adam is so distracted by his life not moving on that he ends up trying to find the love of his life in the gutter somewhere, and that doesn't really work out. There's another hilarious episode where they try to go undercover at a local high school with things that they remember from high school, and they end up bullying each other and not being very good at it. There's an episode where they steal a dragon from a playground because it's awesome, and how that works out for them. And they also tried to spend Thanksgiving at a Caribbean sex resort, but they didn't really work out their passports in time, and that becomes very problematic. Your bonus features, you get Inside the Writer's Room, which is this feature where it just shows them goofing off all day long. Occasionally, they try to come up with ideas, but most of the time they are just goofing off. There is bloopers, which are very, very funny. Alternate takes and deleted scenes, very funny. And drunkmentary on all episodes, which means they get together and do commentary on all the episodes, and they drink while they're doing it. So sometimes they get really distracted and just start making random sex noises just because they're drunk and they're silly. Oh, yeah, there's also an episode where they end up dressing up as Ninja Turtles and spend time in the sewers. You really need to watch this show. It's very funny. And I've reviewed season 1 before, so you don't need to hear how funny that is. But if you like this show, getting them both together is pretty great. And of course, it has all the features on both. And there is a new season 1 behind the scenes extra on there just to get you to want to buy this if you already had season 1. So check that out. Thank you for watching my review, and I hope you'll join me next time for another review. Bye!
If you like this review, go to my site at hauntedflowerreviews.com. I also have a podcast on iTunes. Please leave me ratings and comments. Also, we have a store, hauntedflower.com, where you can find the best online apparel and accessories from movies, TV shows, anime, and more. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/hauntedflower, and that's where we have all of our contests too, so you can win free stuff. Go to indiemojo.com if you live in Indianapolis, and you can find out how to go to free movies.